Let us build an agent for sentiment analysis. So for this, you will need an access to a large language model which will understand your user request, and then you will need access to some tools which will get the job done. So the tools correspond to describing the data set, getting column names which will help the agent understand the data, and afterwards you have a tool for making the sentiment analysis. In addition, we also have a skill which is going to show to the agent on how exactly to do sentiment analysis. Now, before I show you the skill, let me quickly show you on how the data looks like. So the data what we'll be using corresponds to Amazon reviews, and this data has got the product ID as well as it also has got the customer review as indicated by the column review. Now let us look at the skill for sentiment analysis. So this skill starts first of all by finding the text column on which we want to find sentiment analysis. Afterwards, it is going to use the sentiment tool to execute the sentiment, and then it is going to summarize all the sentiment into positive, negative and neutral. It is also going to break down the sentiment by any product category. It is going to also share this information to other agents if you are using a multi-agent system. And then it is also going to produce a visualization, and then it is going to finish with a summary of sentiment analysis. Now let us see on how this agent would actually run. So here I am giving a query to this agent that on this data set Amazon 50, try to make a sentiment analysis. So it is going to now invoke this skill on sentiment analysis, and here you can see that it is trying to use all the different tools first of all to understand the data, and you have noticed that we have not specified any column in the prompt, but it has automatically determined that the column on which the sentiment has to be done is the review column, and then it is going to calculate all the positive, negative and neutral sentiments, and it is producing a nice looking HTML with all the insights. So for example, here you can see the total positive reviews, neutral reviews and negative reviews. In addition, it is also coming out with what are the strongest positive themes and what are the main complaints which are indicated by the reviews. So this was a quick summary of how to build sentiment analysis agents, and you should also try it out.